Oh, check.
You don't have to tighten this. You don't need these.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Mic check. Mic.
And then ask
Checking
your
the mic.
friend if whoever's online, see if they can hear us. Okay, we have 2 viewers left.
Cool. Awesome.
We'll start it in a second. Just keep.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'll give us a couple of drinks.
Yeah, sure. We're just hanging out. This is a hangout, right? So, yeah. Oh yes, thank you.
Strong.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love it.
Okay, folks. Welcome to another session of making music with Elvis. And my name is Elvis. I'm Elvis, and this is my special guest tonight. His name is Tan Lei, and he's a DJ and a good friend of mine. We have Tan here to give us some insights on to the DJ production method and also how we're both going to collaborate together. We would like to, have your opinion on it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to text us in the chat room on Twitch, and or later when we post it on YouTube, you can actually ask us questions there as well. So currently, I would like to welcome Tan to our session. Welcome, Tan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Tan, first, I just wanted to start by asking you, what got you started into DJing and music in general?
You know what? That's a really great question. Just growing up, I remember my earliest times in middle school when, we had our school dances and we had these little raves, and who would have thought this, like, 6th grader, would have enjoyed these house music so much at his school dances. And so that's how it kind of jump-started my my passion for music. And so I've, ever since I've loved listening to house music, trance, and any of the electronic industry or music, honestly, that really, really inspired me. And so I'm just, I love music. I think music really connects everybody, and it's a great thing to have.
So your favorite genre of music is house?
I wouldn't necessarily say house, but I guess I kind of grew up on a lot of like R&B and new pop back in my earlier days, my younger days. And so but what really triggered my curiosity was when we attended these school dances, we played a lot of electronic music. And so actually trance was one of those subgenres of electronic music that really spoke to me. It was something very uplifting about it, and it was just, I felt like I was on this emotional roller coaster with the music, and that I really connected with.
When was your first public performance? If you've done, I mean, I'm sure you've done some public performance. So when was your first ever public performance?
You know what? I remember bringing my DJ set actually to a friend's barbecue, and I'm an aspiring DJ, a bedroom DJ, and I fell in love with the music, and I was like, hey guys, I'm just gonna come out and DJ for you guys at a barbecue. It was just a barbecue between friends of 10-15 people, and they really enjoyed my music, and we all attend the same type of events together, musical events together, and ever since I've been DJing from my room and actually posting it over Facebook Live, and shout out to Rave Exchange. That's a really huge community within our within the Bay Area with the love and affinity for electronic music. And I started doing little Facebook Live sessions with them, and I garnished quite a bit of views. And
great, because now you're gonna do some Twitch and YouTube live sessions, which is awesome. And I mean, it's an added thing to Facebook. So today, what I want to ask, folks who are watching us, is to give us a little bit of feedback initially. Actually, one second. Let me actually check to see. Oh, yes. So that I already figured out what the problem was there. Is to give us a little bit of feedback initially. Actually, how come there's no music? One second.
Oh, sorry. Did I stop the music?
Or is the music not coming?
So let's actually just play something and see if music's actually coming out.
Do we that?
Let it keep going and keep going up, and then let me actually calibrate the.
All right, guys. This is just part of the show, actually. This is an entire learning experience for all of us. I'm actually kind of nervous being on here, just talking with you guys, but this should be a really fun experience.
Somehow it seems like your music isn't coming out.
Yeah. So how do we troubleshoot?
Let me
entire learning experience for all of us.
Let me figure that out.
Kind of nervous being on here, just talking with you guys, but this should be really fun.
That's why.
Somehow
it seems
like your music isn't coming out.
So
Yeah. So
huh. There we go. Okay, I kind of figured out what the problem was, and I muted the output. Okay, good. I think we're good now. Maybe. Out what the problem was, and okay.
Okay.
So we're just gonna give. We're just gonna continue talking until we set everything up. And this is the first time actually Tan has worked with me on this Twitch thing, so we're gonna play it as it goes. We're just gonna give. We're just gonna continue talking.
Yes.
Until we set everything up. And this is the first
the
time
master's out.
Master's out.
Yeah.
Tan has,
Wait. I mean, it's supposed to be playing right now, but
oh yeah, got it. Sorry.
yeah.
Where's all the time grown from this summer dream that
You
we
guys hear that?
shared? In the winter steams.
They're saying
Where's all the love gone that those movies
They
seen?
did. They heard us talking. No music.
no music.
They heard music for a
Cause baby,
second.
baby, you holding out just thinking about when we were first falling in love.
So yeah, just let us know if the music's now playing.
Lately I've been sitting around just thinking about when the times I could not get enough.
Okay. just let us know if the music's now playing. Yeah. Okay, good. Now it should be playing actually. So now I'm going to turn back the music on. This is a complicated process.
Yeah.
We're not meant to be. You're just
Now
scared.
I'm going to.
So step us through your troubleshooting. Like, what are we
Okay.
doing? So like, I'm curious because this is all new to me. So maybe you know everyone can kind of learn through our mistakes and you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit here so I don't have to overwhelm everything on the. So what essentially, as if you guys can see, I'm gonna shift this to this view over here, and you'll see this particular thing here. You know what this is? This is the audio interface software control to my my audio interface, and I'm doing a little bit of a jugglery here
Okay.
to get the mics and the DJ and the software, DAW, the software that I use to make music, like Tan uses. What is the software you use?
I use Rekordbox.
Rekordbox, yeah. So you know, if you want to get your mic and Rekordbox and everything going into a stream, we have to do a little bit of a jugglery, at least in my home studio here, which is I had to hardwire. I have to mute my Twitch channel.
I use Rekordbox.
So yeah, so I had to route cables into you know, back from the output back into the input.
Got it. Okay.
So I have 8 inputs on the 8 outputs, actually 8 inputs, and then 4 outputs on the back.
got it.
Now the inputs are good because we can actually just send stuff into the computer. But how do you get it come out? The software doesn't know how to do that unless I wire it manually. So this is a little bit of a future advanced course, which we'll talk about later. But essentially, this one button that you see here that my mouse is hovering over, the 3/4, that was turned off. If I turn that off now, you won't hear any music. Turn your monitor. We can hear it here, and it might bleed in through the mics, but you won't be able to hear it.
Right.
But your music's dead.
Yes, my music's dead because there's no music playing.
Yes, there's some music playing. Okay, so he's got to play his music back on,
Yes.
and then what we're gonna do is, while its music's playing, I'm gonna just press this button here, and you'll see that you guys can't hear it, but we can hear it from the speakers here.
There we go.
Okay, Tan's turned the music back on. Now you can hear the music going out. You can also slightly increase the master volume out. There we go. Okay, so now y'all can hear the music. Now I'm gonna press this button, which is 3x4 is the output that I've plugged in from the back. If I turn this off, we can hear the music here still. If I put my mic near the speakers, you'll hear it. But it's not gonna come out through the actual recording software. So I'm gonna turn that back on so everybody gets a good listening experience. Okay. This is everybody knows what this is. A pop filter. Because if I talk like this, it's great.
Elvis, I think we're getting mixed experiences from a friend of mine. It's like it's a weird recording, so I'm trying to figure out can our audience really hear both the music and the recording and our voices as well right now? Like, do you guys hear anything?
Yeah. So if you guys have something you can let us know if the audio and the voice, the balance is good or not. We can't really tell.
Yeah, sure. This is so how was your day?
Okay, so I gotta put this back up here. So yeah, I mean, do we have to? We shouldn't tell people we're working. Well, we can.
I guess we can, but I mean,
Bring that mic closer to you.
yeah, I guess we can, but it's probably not as pertinent. But I guess so. Elvis and I both work at Apple, and I'm in sort of the IT operations world, and Elvis,
Yeah, and I work on the camera, and in our pastime we do music.
right. And so I'm hoping with this session, it be something really fun and engaging. And, Elvis and I talked before this about how we should go about composing and producing music. And, I've always really been interested in that. I, haven't really kind of dove deep with that yet, and so this is kind of my first time really touching like the software and the hardware and interfacing with everything else, and kind of bringing my skill sets and seeing how that like mesh with what already, right?
So what my vision was, why I wanted to work with Tan, is to see because he's a DJ, and a lot of people are looking for something very new and exciting. I mean, standard. I'm a musician and a producer, so what I do is we produce everything on the computer, and then we somehow figure out how to play it live. But playing the stuff that that you make in the studio live is actually very difficult, because in the studio you can add, I don't know, eagle sounds and thunder, lightning crashing and all that stuff, but live musicians can't make those sounds, right?
Right.
So you have to have some way to sample those sounds and then trigger them on stage on time. So that's the thing I want to get Tan's help with, is when we play live, I want to be able to have somebody who can actually control hardware. And so we have live musicians playing, the bass, the guitars, and the vocals. And then with Tan, he'll trigger the samples, he'll set things off, and do all kinds of effects and filters. So this is our plan going forward. So this, what we want to do is we want to create a new song, and that we have a structure for that we produce. We'll produce all the elements of it, and then we'll have to figure out, we'll have to practice how to perform this live. What do you think, Tan?
No, I think that's kind of a daunting task, especially I'm not classically trained, so
neither am I. Nobody is.
and nobody is, and I think that's the fun part of the process, right? It's because you're learning something entirely new and from the ground up, and I think this is just a really more of a fun thing to do that can grow into something a lot bigger, and and hopefully with what we're doing, it touches people's lives.
Exactly.
And I think that's so important, because I know music touched my life and much of yours, and it's a huge passion of ours, and I'm hoping we come out with a voice that people can really listen to and really connect
and dig. So just on that, right, so what would you like to share with people who are aspiring musicians or aspiring DJs or aspiring producers? What would you want to say to them?
It's never too late to start. And
good one.
Why not now, right? Why keep yourself up in the bedroom when you can be talking to people and networking and starting getting gigs and really honing in your skills and practicing and throwing yourself out there, really, because I think that's one of the hugest kind of fear. People fear rejection, right? We talked about that a lot.
Really, don't fear rejection, because nobody starts out perfect. I mean, the Beatles, had to go to 150 different people to actually get recognized. A lot of people didn't want them. It's not just the Beatles. There's lots of artists that who threw themselves out there, like you said. Just kept going at it. If it's your passion, you'll really like it, you'll want to do it, you'll keep at it, and you won't give up. Now it is a little bit daunting, and it's a little nervous, but then when you collaborate, when you work with other people, what you're gonna feel is a little bit more of a support, and you'll feel a little bit more of courage. So just watch us and folks like us, and that help. We'll do some trainings, we'll do some coaching on how people can do this, but then always ask us questions to see if there's anything specific that you want to know. And we're going to be streaming these kinds of things very often. I'm going to stream this every Saturday and Wednesday, California PST, 8 p.m. On Wednesday evening, and then 12 noon PST, Pacific Standard Time, on Saturday. So if you have any questions, if you're an aspiring musician, or even if you're not, that's the next question I'm going to ask Tan. But even if you're not, if you are an aspiring musician, just go out there and do it. Don't worry about rejection, or don't worry about getting rejected. Now, Tan, what's your advice for people who are not advice, but what would you like to tell people who are fans of yours and want to just listen to your stuff?
Yeah, honestly, the way to really enjoy what you do is to, you know, to play for yourself and
Yeah.
not for other people.
Yeah.
I think that's such an incredible
Yep.
like message.
Exactly.
It's such an important message,
Yeah.
especially in the music industry, because you know everyone connect differently.
Yeah.
Everyone listens differently. Everyone has different tastes. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's what your voice and your brand is what is really going to influence people. And so
Yeah.
for me, you know, I'm growing up, I've always listened to trance. That's kind of always my thing, you know. And
Yeah.
future house and bass is kind of like the new upcoming, or you know, this evading genre into the electronic industry right now is something I really can enjoy playing and even eventually composing. And so
Yeah.
just overall, really play for yourself.
Yeah.
And then people will follow,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's absolutely right. I mean, when you play for yourself, the cool thing is this: when you make music that you like and you're playing for yourself, you're not going to be shy because you're going to think it's awesome, because you wouldn't play stuff for yourself that you didn't like,
Yeah.
right? So you'd make stuff that is really awesome, and therefore there will be people, if you liked it, somebody else is going to like it too, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to make everybody on the planet like it. Not everybody likes you know, death metal, and some people do and some people don't. Not everybody likes house and you know, or rock or whatever, right? Country and all that stuff, which is fine, because you can't have everybody like your stuff. Then you'd just be too famous and you won't be able to handle it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not our ultimate goal to be in that limelight, but it's really to play music that our people's gonna like.
That's right.
And have a, you know, a profound influence on their lives. And I think that, like, you know, we're people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser. I don't know about you.
Yeah, everybody,
You
as
know?
musicians, we are. Yeah,
Well, I think, as
yeah.
musicians, you just naturally are.
Yeah, we
right?
are entertainers, and we want our people, just like we like ourselves to be happy when we make our own music. We want our fans and our friends to like it too.
Right.
You know, you guys are friends of ours, and we want our music and our. So we have Tan Sumba One fan says, "I love your music, Tan." So say something to your fan.
How's it going?
So, you know,
No.
So
Wait, can you read that comment? I'm like so blind from this
Wait,
angle
yeah,
right
it's a
now.
little far. The fan's name is Tan's number one fan.
Okay. This has got to be from one of our Bay Area fam group chat. Is this RJ?
Tan's number one fan. I love your music, Tan.
I love
There's
it. Thank you.
there's
Thank you. I love you too. You know, I do it for you, honestly.
I'm like, what is Tan Zumba fan? I'm like, okay, Tan's got a Zumba club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I Zumba before, but I think it's really exciting. You guys should try it once in your lifetime.
So what we're gonna do is today we're gonna try to see how and this is gonna be okay. So let's see what the time is right now. The time is 8:30. So we have we have a session planned for another hour and a half or an hour, and what we want to try to do is try to see how we can make some production elements. And I want to see what what's the name of the software again?
The song, it's called Can't Lie.
Sorry, the software.
the software. The software's called Record Box.
Record Box. Okay.
And so, yeah, Record Box is basically, it is essentially a mixing and audio mixing software that certain hardware are only compatible with. And so it is a way for you to interface with your hardware, your controller, your mixer, and, you know, tell the computer what you want to do with the sound. And so essentially that's what a controller is, and the software helps you do that. And so we can, you know, later go into greater detail on what the hardware does and how the software interfaces with the hardware. And so for me, I've only known just most of the intermediate features of the product, but I think just throughout the time, you know, I definitely want to grow into it more and learn.
Is
Share with you guys advanced features of it.
Is Record Box a free software or is it a paid software?
Good question. That is actually a licensed software. So it's actually Record Box is one of the most used software by a lot of pro DJs. Although everyone has their preferences, right? As much as, you know, if you're playing a racket sport like tennis, you know, every pro player is gonna have a different racket, but conceptually it's all the same thing. And so
This hardware that you have over here, what is it called? And does it come with Rekordbox, or does Rekordbox come with it? Or
yeah, that's a good. So this is a product by Pioneer. It's called the DDJRR. There's another version called SR. SR standing for Serato. Serato is also another software, a DJ software that you can interact with your hardware. But there are, different features within both software. And for me, Rekordbox just makes a lot more sense. It's very intuitive. If you open the software itself, which we unfortunately can't share yet.
Yeah. We will. So he's Tan's #1 fan from KY, Kentucky. Do you know anybody
Kentucky?
From Kentucky? Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, this is.
Who's
This
KY?
I know who might this be.
Okay.
Hello.
So, we absolutely appreciate all our fans from wherever it is, KY or, Mars. But okay, so speaking about this Pioneer DJ thing, I mean, after this session, maybe in another session, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get his computer laptop and maybe get another camera on top of Tan's thingy so you can actually see him do this. But initially, what we're going to try to do is see if I can get like his audio into this software that you see here, this is called Reason. Reason is by a company called Propellerhead. They're from Sweden. Yes. They are from Sweden, yes.
Yes.
And this is really awesome, and I usually do most of my production in Reason. I used to do Pro Tools before, and Reason's a little bit more intuitive and nicer to work for. It's very, very great for house, trance, modern, rock, anything actually. The genres are very, very wide with Reason. Honestly, you can do it with any DAW, but Reason makes it much better to do. Okay, so what we want to try to do now is ask Tan some questions about sampling, right? He was mentioning to me about sampling earlier, and I want to ask him, Tan, what is sampling, and what can you do with Pioneer RR and Rekordbox?
Yeah, so sampling fundamentally is basically this idea of taking snippets of either instruments or sounds or, just clipping parts of a music and then actually importing it into the software, right? And then playing that sample. And unfortunately, I don't have a sample to play immediately to you, maybe in our future recordings, but for a good example, the reggae horn is like a very, very popular, so in hip hop, R&B, or even like trap music. I'll play a little sample of that too.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
that's the sample.
Yeah.
That's the music.
So samples are essentially anything that's an audio file, right? Anything that's a WAV file or or an MP3 or anything. So if what we want to do now, think about it. So what he just showed you was like the sound, whatever, right? That's the sample is exactly. How long can a sample be? Any length, right?
Yeah, the sample can be any length you want,
Exactly.
honestly. And then, that's when your creativity kicks in,
Right.
and you can do so much with, hybridizing different samples together, sequencing them, and layering on top of each other. But it gets super complicated, but it's such a fun process
Right.
to do.
So what we're going to try and do today is we're not going to just kind of talk all the way through. What we're going to try and do is I'm going to send Tan. Do you have a way to create beats on your machine? Like a beat from scratch?
I can take a song, and then what we can do is we can
Cut.
use some of the pad effects,
Yeah.
and then like slice it or
Yeah.
play different beats
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
so we can use some of the built-in like filters,
Yeah.
and effects.
Yeah, so what we can do is let's try doing that. So we'll take a beat from your somewhere, and then we'll record it in a Reason because I have him plugged straight into my thing. Oh, so we have a new fan here,
RJ.
RJRIV. It says Tan. Yeah, this is
What up, RJ? Do you have a request?
It says yes.
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 I'm glad you guys can join us. Don't let us board you, but this is kind of a hangout session, you know, just kind of really a conversation between Elvis and I, just talking to a bunch of random strangers and our friends.
Yeah, that's right. And what we want to do is actually also create some music while we're doing this. So, Tan, you take your time and you just kind of make up a splice that we can actually do. I want it to be something like a loop of with a beat in it, something that you like, something that excites you, something with a fast tempo. You know, what is this tempo at? This one's playing.
This is playing at 125.
Cool.
Right
Okay.
now, so it's kind of mellow, kind of that's within like a deep house genre.
Right. I like it actually. 130 is about house, right?
Yeah, 130. That's
Yeah,
a little bit more
135.
progressive. That's
Yeah.
when things get pick up the pace. Yeah.
Cool. So can you make us like a nice little loop? Okay.
He wants Cascade. Okay, we can maybe
Yeah.
sample some
It
Cascade.
samples-
Can you pull vocals out?
I can pull it out.
Like extract the vocals from the song, or
We can. We'll
can.
try some interesting things. So just sample something on off of Cascade or Above and Beyond. He says or Above and Beyond. So while Tan's doing that, I'm going to. RJIV says thank you. Well, he says thanks. What I'm going to do is show you guys how we're going to route Tan's audio into this software here. Okay. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to create an audio track. And this audio track, we're going to. Let me see. We're going to take a stereo input because Tan's in stereo. And then we're going to take Tan's coming out of 3 and 4. There we go. And I'm not going to turn this on because you could already hear the music. And this is just Tan's channel. And so whatever he's going to do out there, I can record it. So let's see. We'll just sample you something and show you. This is also sampling, basically taking it out of Tan's DJ thingy and then sampling it. So.
all right. So I'm looping this bar here in a bit here. Oh. So I'm gonna play a song from Above and Beyond called Faithless, Seva 2.0. It's this little 4-beat that I just absolutely love. It's just something, just watch and learn. Or not learn, but
Just watch and enjoy.
it's that beginning. You're like, right? That
So
just
this person is billionaire. He's cute. Is Tan single?
Shut up, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey Tan, are you single? Billionaire ass.
Officially over the internet, yes.
Officially over the internet is okay, good. Thank you, RJIV, for following. Tan's number one says no. Unfortunately, he's not. Apparently, he's dating this super hot Thai girl.
Oh shit! Who is that?
Your number one fan says that.
Oh,
Tan's
okay.
asking to the number one fan, who's that?
I love you too.
Okay, so this loop. Thank you, Tan. Actually, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna record this. Okay, so pause it for a second, please. Pause it. Can you just pause it? Yeah. Good. Put it in a full volume. Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna hit record on this thing, and then we're gonna sample that, and then we're gonna show you how we're gonna throw in some bass and some vocals and some really cool things on there. So, I'm gonna. What is the BPM?
That song is at 128.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna set the BPM at 128 because we need to get the same thing. Are you sure it's 128?
Yeah, it's 128.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to we're gonna start recording it, and then Tan, whenever you're ready, trigger. So as you guys can see, we've started recording it, and none of my vocals is gonna come in there because we're just sampling Tan's track here, and you'll see what we're gonna do with it in a second. Yeah, let that riser go. That's awesome. Let it go, and then after a bit, cut it, kill it when you think you want to kill it. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Now we have a patch here. Now I'm gonna play that out for you guys, and you'll hear it'll be the exact same thing. RJFH says, "Go Tan." Okay, so we have this sampled, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually do something interesting. I'm going to splice that so we can actually use that correctly. Okay, so hang on a second. You can see everything I'm doing on the screen. If you can't, just go ahead and text. Triple X Sapphire 3 says, "Hey Tan, you're doing great, honey, mom."
Where are my fans trickling in from? This is just.
Okay, well, hang on a second.
Gosh,
what we're gonna do is this. So I'm going to splice this up here. We're gonna zoom this in, and I'm going to. That.
So you're splicing the audio.
Yeah, I am, but I want to do it. Actually, that's not the correct way to do it. The correct way to do it would be. So I'm basically. I need to. This is a quick and dirty method, okay? So we're not producing it like we would actually produce it properly, but you'll see. Yeah, so it's on the click. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna. So this is what Tan would be if we were doing a live show. Tan would be doing this, and what I would be doing is some added production. Like we're gonna throw in a bass guitar here right now, okay? But first, I'm gonna double this. Okay. Okay. This is where that riser starts. So we're gonna copy that.
This is where you climax.
At the end of it. Your mom is watching, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Gotta keep it PG around here.
That's right. Okay. Okay. So we have now. And I'm also gonna bring up the mixer, which you'll see here. We can just put a compressor on Tan's thing.
Guys, I have no idea what's going on right now.
Don't worry about it right now. You'll get to know it soon. It's.
But this is how music production starts, and again, this is how remixes happens, and.
That's right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna see we have this going on for a while, right? And then we have this riser coming in over there. So, and this riser, we can do some interesting things to it.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
So now we have our own structure. So what I'm gonna do? So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna plug the bass guitar in, and y'all will see. Again, this is a Gibson 67. I actually mentioned my last stream, and this is my neighbor's guitar. It's actually a fantastic bass guitar, and you'll hear it right now in a little bit. So first, I'm gonna rename Tan's track. I'm gonna call it what is this? What is the loop? What is the name you want to give this loop?
The peak.
Peak? No, that's the riser, right? Before the peak.
Oh.
Mounted.
Mount fucking Everest. Oh, can I cuss?
You sure?
We'll call it the High Sierra.
Okay, I got it. High Sierra. We're gonna call this riff, right? Beat riff. Okay. Now I'm gonna create a new audio track. I'm gonna create a new audio track, and I'm gonna do the bass on this. I'm gonna call this bass. And it's gonna be hard because we are just winging this. My bass is on channel 2, so here it is.
We're going for a very deep riff.
Okay, so now The scale.
The scale is playing C major, right?
It's not C.
C? No, it's not.
Well,
It's definitely C.
is it?
Yeah. Or maybe.
Alright, let me see. It's actually C.
Minor.
Flat. No,
Flat.
minor flat. And it's, yeah, the note is C minor, and C minor, it might be C flat minor. I mean, there's no such thing as C flat. It's B.
That's true. Again, I'm not classically trained. Elvis, you make a hell of a cocktail.
Well, thank
This
you
is-
very much. This one is called Tan's Hibiscus. That's the cocktail I just made for Tan. It has a little bit of a hibiscus liqueur. It has Kraken rum, and it has the coconut Malibu, and then a little bit of Angostura bitters. You just shake it in a thing and then pour it in a glass with some ice.
That's great, guys.
All right, so we're gonna.
So we.
So that's all we need to do. Sorry. That's all we need to do for now. So I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to layer on top of that. So, okay, so I'm going to turn the click track on. So I get a reference, and then I'm actually going to increase my bass guitar's vocal so we can hear it a little better. Honestly. Okay.
So at the 6th bar, there we go.
Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm gonna just take parts of what I like from that, and then we're gonna just kind of layer it properly. Okay, so I'm gonna make that.
What bar is this? Maybe we can go for like simpler riffs, like instead of the dun 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 dun, and then just kind of like one key at a time, right? Like dun
We'll
dun dun dun, right? Oh, I like the direction this is going to. Slower notes that we can like elongate, right? With like really deep like tones of bass.
that's kind of the idea, right? So we have. Okay, we'll work with that right now. For now, we're gonna do this. This one's coming out of. Let's see, what is this one coming out of? This one's coming out of 6. Tracks, and we'll add other layers to this, other samples later. This one's called I'll check. Okay, so we can do now. We're gonna do this. We're gonna garble our vocals up a little bit. So
Closer to the mic.
so we're gonna take this guy. I'm gonna show the inside effect.
So what am I looking at?
This is the rack. This is the cool thing about Reason. I mean, if I show you the backside of this thing, it looks like an actual what do you call that analog stereo. I mean, studio equipment stuff. You know, you can actually wiggle these cables around, and you can actually plug them in, just like they would in a real studio. Now, I will explain each of these racks in another tutorial, but for now, we're just gonna jam. So I'm gonna take something called where is it? Effects, and I'm gonna here this, and I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna turn it on to radio. Okay, where is radio? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, and I'm going to mute my outside vocals for a second. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is okay, good. Now I have radio sound. We actually wait. We're gonna try to do some recording with. This isn't how you should do it. Actually, you should have headphones. You should not let things bleed in. But in fact, what I should do is. Hello, check. Oh yeah. See, look at this. Okay, and I'm gonna also throw in a reverb over there. Actually, we're gonna do a raw Papen reverb. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Oh, check. Yes. It's too bright. Oh, check. Oh, check. Oh, check. Oof. Oh, check. Yeah. Okay, that might work. Just for fun. And now I'm gonna click here, and we can actually do some funky vocals here. Okay. You won't be able to hear me yet, but we'll hear me after I record, just because we don't want the feedback. I'll check it. Okay. I'll check. This is the complicated part of streaming live and doing music. Okay, good. This is fine. I can work with this. How do you feel right today? changed actually. What happened? Should we add vocals and harmonies and melodies? Yeah. Well, because then we'll actually use that as those samples. Oh.
How do you feel about today? How do you feel about today?
Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually just I don't know.
This is, you guys, this is not gonna turn out to be Above and Beyond's new acoustic submission. We're just playing for funsies, so.
Well, it'll be fine.
How do you feel about today? How do you feel about today?
Or we can hum, right? Like,
Yeah, you're gonna hum and you're gonna hum. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna hum.
we can hum to this. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. It's by design.
How do you feel about today?
Is that the reverb?
It's a delay.
How do you feel about today?
You gonna turn me on? Like, one, two, three. Yeah.
For Tan, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add another effect. We're actually gonna add what I call the pulverizer.
The end part, I like the dun. I told you, right? Just that dun 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 dun. You know, that slow build up. Boop.
Okay, so now Tan, say something to the mic.
Hello.
Huh.
Hello. Hello.
That way. Okay, let me see. Yeah, here. Say something.
Hello. Hello, my gay friend Billy can't stand my voice.
Oh yeah, that's why. You know why?
Hello. Yeah, wait, you muted me. Okay. Hello. I'm a transport. Check. There we go. The dirty distortion. Yeah, I hear that. What do you call this? This is dirty distortion. Like,
So you're gonna try to do some humming again. So it's called crush texture. Crush. So we're gonna do Okay, this Wobbly Wins is asking. So Wobbly is asking what DAW this. This is called Reason. Let me actually show you guys the Reason software website. It's by a company called Propellerhead, and they're fucking awesome. I mean, sorry, forgive my French. It's called.
No, we cuss all the time.
Yeah.
It's filthy mouth like that.
It's
Audio track.
Yeah, it's called the website is called propellerhead.se, and the software is called Reason, and this version is 9.5. I have the latest version, and I highly recommend this software for anybody. Billionaire says, but what is most important is I can hear your heart. Awesome. All right, so
go to sleep, guys. What are you doing up this late?
Well, no, I mean, don't go to sleep.
No, don't go to sleep. We need our viewership.
Okay, so yeah, Propellerhead is a Swedish company, and they make this amazing software. You can do tracks. You can if you see this mixer, that every track that you create, it creates a whole channel strip. And this channel strip is an emulation of an SSL 9000 console. It's a real mixing console. They actually emulated the whole thing. It's really awesome. And then the rack, it has a rack where you can put in. So this is a reverb. This is another reverb. This is an echo. This is a delay. These are the tracks. And this is like, it's like an effect that you can, muddle your sound with. This is Rob Pappin's reverb that I bought. Some things comes with the software. Some things you can buy. You can buy it from their store, and you can do whatever you need to do with it. Like, for example, if you need a compressor, you need a reverb, or I have like tons of effects here. I have a four band mastering dynamics compressor. I have another compressor. These are all compressors. This is a maximizer, delay, faturator. This faturator thing just makes your sound fat and distorted. It doesn't work all the time. This is a guitar amp. This is a bass. Actually, both are guitar amps, different kinds of guitar amps. So I'll show you later. We'll plug in our guitars, and then you'll hear something there. But for the most part today, we're not going to do all that kind of stuff. We're going to do a little bit more of a sample-based production. I'll show you what kind of cool samples I do have, actually. But first, let's take a look at, we'll get Tan to hum something just to get a sample going and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this. Yeah. Really stretching my throat.
Okay, so now we have Tan's vocal in there. Now I'm going to turn him up on the mix. Oops, I just killed the mixer. I want to open the mixer up, view main mixer, and turn it out. Damn it. Where did it go? Yeah, there it is. Okay, and I'm going to bring Tan's vocals up a little bit, and then I'm going to see what it sounds like. We'll see.
How do you feel about today? How do you?
And what we're going to do is we're going to actually muddle that up nicely. Stretching my vocal
You guys, this is like the Photoshop of music production right now.
How do you feel about today? How do you
That's kind of trippy.
How do you
I like that.
today?
Really stretching it. So what are you trying to figure out right now?
I'm trying to make it sharper.
Okay.
How do you feel about today? How do you
Oh, and maybe our RJ Riff can suggest a song that you like. We can pick a new sample from. We can throw in there and mix it all up in there together.
How do you feel about today?
I have a vocal that we can use. Maybe not to replace yours, but alright, we got this.
Okay, so I'm gonna create a new audio track, and this we're gonna call whatever high vocals. And this one is gonna come out of stereo, but this is gonna come out before.
Here we go.
Another night out, another dance floor for you. Another night out, another
So
dance floor.
Stan has this patch here, which is
Here
cool.
we go.
We just need to match the pitch or the key of our song. Ours is on B and C, actually
Waited all
C,
week
I think. I'm not sure, but yeah.
just to get out.
What is this on right now? Yeah, okay. Oh, this is okay. This should be the right pitch, the correct pitch for the sample that we were playing earlier. Really stretching it.
Does it really matter?
Not with the bass, huh?
In this head we're all
Maybe I can try to change the pitch.
for me. I'll move for you.
Can you change the pitch?
Move for me. I'll move for you. Move for me. I'll move for you. For me. Another dance floor. Another night out.
That, just that, yeah, that.
Another night out. Another.
Okay, cool.
Another.
So you play live with the rest of that, and we're gonna mute my vocals on where it doesn't work, right? I'm gonna actually mute mine, and we'll just see. In fact, I want to see if it works over Tan's.
Another night out. Another dance floor.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so wait.
Another night out. Another dance floor.
How do you feel about today?
the software. Sometimes the software can't pick up the
tempo
tempo of the
along-
actual vocal.
Right.
So that's why we can adjust
can you
the
stretch it?
pitch. Yeah, we can
So
stretch
see,
it.
she's singing. So she's singing.
Another night out, another dance floor.
Can you bring her down to 128?
Yeah, this is.
Another night out,
Okay, good.
another dance floor.
Okay, so I'm gonna play and you just trace. She's too fast. Bring her down. Slow her down. Reduce her. Let's record that. Yeah, that's actually.
Because I wouldn't want to like alter the
Yeah, original.
original
right.
vocals.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here I'm gonna record you on this track here. So we're gonna record the another night out,
Yes.
and then we're just gonna splice the time correctly, and I'll show you how we can do that here. Let's see. Okay, that's enough. Let me start that. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is see. And I'm going to.
Oh, here's another sample, actually.
How do I do this? Stretch and transfers. Yes. No. Dude. How is the stretch on this? Stretch. I have to change it to.
I have another sample. You want to use this one? Actually, I might. It's low. It's higher pitch.
Oh yeah.
So.
Show me play that.
Here we go, another night out. Waited all week
We can use that. We could have used that, but reverse.
just to get out. Here we go, another night out. Waited all week.
I'm gonna give you a click track and then just trigger on the click. Right?
Here we go.
On the click.
On the click. Yeah. And just choose a click.
Here we go, another night out. Waited all week just to get out. Where do we come from?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this to here and then. Now it's not in time, right? So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna actually make the thing in time. So what's wrong with her vocals? What's wrong with it?
Here we go, another night.
She's too fast, right?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is cut this, and then stretch them all individually. Stretch them all individually. Okay. And oops. Move this out.
Here we go,
Now that's too fast. I want to stretch it out a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm going to use that other thing that I just did, which was control, and I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to have to look at the thing properly just to see. now that's in actually time. So now what we're gonna do is, oops.
I'm gonna bring that.
But this one's now in time.
Here we go.
I think we have a question.
Let's see. Sonic Sound Official's asking, "Is this trance?" What do you think?
I would say so. I want to say so. Yeah, this is where we're going at least. I know the guitar riffs are a little confusing at first. It's only solely because of educational purposes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, I mean, it honestly could be.
But it could be an element of the song as well. Yes.
Yes, this is Reason, Sonic Sound Official. This is Reason, man. I love Reason. I mean, it's just it's amazing. So what we're right now using in Reason here is the splice edit, and what you saw just now me do is here she says here we, and I needed the here we to be on the oh dude, yes, VSTs has made me love it. VSTs, I have like I have Loom that I purchased for $200, and I couldn't use it because I stopped using Pro Tools, and now that I can use VSTs in Reason, I'm super happy because now I don't have that Loom thingy sitting around and wasting my money. I mean, right? Warped it. Let me show you actually Reason. I don't know what you mean by warped it. But I did love it. Let me show you Loom. Loom is one kick-ass plugin, which actually I should show you too. Loom is just it's the best additive synthesizer on the planet. Well, not on the planet, but it's pretty good.
It's close.
It's close. Let me see. Yeah, there's a lot of
Sounds pretty cool.
yeah. It does sound cool. There's a lot of
Build up there.
yeah. There's a lot of
Mm.
wait. Actually, I'm gonna try to get a nicer. Let's see. Kush. There's there's a lot of plugins. The allowed. Okay, yes, Warp. That's, you're absolutely right. In Reason, it was called Warp. Yes, Warp. Warp markers. I know. In Reason, they call it slice markers. You're right. You're right. All right, cool. So, forget about Loom right now. I'm gonna kill that, and we are going to actually delete track and device. You should actually try Reason. The Reason Essentials is available for like $100-something. Reason full version is available for $400.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of Reason?
Can you remind the viewers what the software Reason is, for at least those who are really entering the music production, or maybe just dabbling with it?
Yeah. Reason is a DAW. I'm sure a lot of you know it who are already into recording. It allows you to record music. I mean, he says Sonic Sound Official says Nanobe uses it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and lots of people use it. I mean, I actually saw Deadmau5 using Reaper, which is not Reason, but it's a free. Well, it's not free, but it's a very cheap version of a DAW. So I mean, like, people use a lot of software, and I think that Reason is one of the most popular ones for house, trance, electronic, even regular rock and all that stuff. So I mean, I'm glad people are interested in Reason and asking about it. Let me know what you need. I mean, the website's called propellerhead.se. Just go on their website and just take a look at it. They have Fruity Loops. Yeah, there's a lot of people who use that. You use Studio One? Okay, yeah, Studio One. So Sonic Sound Official uses Studio One and Fruity Loops. Excellent software, actually. I used to use Fruity Loops. I've actually never used Studio One. I was thinking of getting it, but I didn't want to learn another software all over again. I used to use Pro Tools, and before that, I used to use Cubase. Tan uses a record box,
Yeah, I use Rekordbox. I use Rekordbox.
and record box is solely like a DJ. Or can you do DAW stuff in it? Like, can you record tracks with mics and stuff?
It's very limited in what the controller is capable of, and that's what the software will, augment or complement. And so, essentially, Rekordbox is just a way for you to organize music. Be able to interface with the controller and actually import samples, sequence stuff, and so.
Can Rekordbox work with other hardware, or is it only for the Panasonic RR?
Right. So Rekordbox can operate with other hardware as long as it supports the software.
Okay, got
Right. So like can this software works with Windows and Mac?
Right. Yeah. Studio One 3 is the same as Logic, Cubase, and FL in your opinion. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. Studio One 3 is actually pretty cool. Let me show you guys what Sonic Sound Official is talking about. It's a fantastic DAW as well for those of you trying to get into music production. These are the different options. So there's Studio One, and there's Reason, and there's Ableton Live. Anybody use Ableton Live here? Sonic Sound, have you ever used Ableton Live?
Ableton's pretty popular. Heard
Right?
right? Ableton Live.
Yeah. Have you ever used? I mean, a lot of DJs use Ableton Live for.
Right.
yeah.
Right. I know there are like the Ableton Push hardware, right? Where you can do the synth and the beat pads
Yeah.
and all that good jazz.
It ain't cheap, I mean, it's like
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Any musical instruments.
I know. So with Ableton Live with what's it called? The push interface is like 800, 900 or something like that.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know how these music industries can justify that. Huh.
I have my neighbors banging on my door, just trying to,
Well, that was kind of weird and
they're
scary at the same time.
they're probably drunk or something, and they're like, "Hey, what you want?" Ableton confuses you. Yeah, I know. Ableton confuses me, and so does my neighbors. They confuse me too. What we're gonna do is after our session here, we're gonna go over to the neighbors, and we're gonna party it up a little bit. But yeah, I know Ableton is very complicated, very confusing. However, Reason is complicated and confusing as well. But if you learn the basics of it, which I will teach, people in my later studios. Now, look at this. This looks complicated, but it's not really. Look, it's a channel.
A lot of knobs.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
I mean, like fucking DJs, like you think they're turning and twisting a bunch of knobs, but really it's.
But I mean, like if you, like Tan. I mean, look at his controller here. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it. Wait. So look at that, like guys. I mean, there's a lot of knobs on it, but it's not. Don't get intimidated by it. It's Tan will explain how to use these things in later sessions. I mean, today is the first time Tan and I are getting together. Well, I've known him for a while, but this is the first time we're doing this music kind of production. And Reason or Ableton or any software, any DAW is easy. I'm most familiar with Reason and Pro Tools. So Tan's familiar with Rekordbox and what is the thing called again? The RR.
Oh yeah, the controller, the mixer, DDJ, RR.
Right.
Yes.
So we're gonna do another session, and I'll let everybody know when we're doing another session, and then the next session. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a deep dive into Rekordbox and RR. Would you be able to do that, Tan?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to be really frank with you. I've only touched the software very lightly, but like I say, this is actually a good learning experience for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm eager to learn as much as sharing. And
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of wonderful tutorials out there, but I think this is gonna be one of those tutorials where we'll just kind of lightly introduce you to features.
Yeah.
and
How did
kind
you
of-
learn this, Dan? I mean, how did you learn? How did you know about Rekordbox? Thank you, Sonic Sound. You absolutely can share. I would love to listen to your stuff. Sonic Sound's official wants to share some of his. Thank you. Some
awesome.
of his music. Yeah.
What did you play, Sonic?
Yeah. What do you play? What is your genre
Your
of
genre
music?
or-
Yeah.
choice of music.
He says Reason looks like hardware but software. Yes, exactly. That's I like that about Reason because it. So this the Reason mixer is actually a software emulation of the SSL 9000 console, which is what a lot of musicians use in studios. When you go to a really good studio, you'll find an SSL console there. SSL stands for solid state logic, and that's like a mixing board. It's like, huge 24 channel mixing board. These guys, Reason guys, they went software emulated it. They made the software do exactly what the hardware mixer does.
Exactly, and I think that's so great because for artists like you and I who don't have the
Access
type
to
of income and access to these
big
hardware,
studios,
big software, it's nice to be able to use these emulation type of software.
Exactly. I mean, it's just $400. Well, okay, $100 for the Reason Essentials, and then if you save a bit of money, and then you go and get the $400, you get professional studio quality equipment at home, right? What do you think?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. And this is honestly the reason why a bunch of 13-year-olds, up and rising EDM artists are able to produce such good tracks.
Yeah.
And it's because they rely on these type of software.
Yeah. Sonic Sound says, "I'm not a pro, but I try." I mean, we are not pros, man. I mean,
and that's the point of this channel, honestly. Like,
exactly.
I'm learning as much as you are sharing with me how much you know, and I think that's part of the journey that we're gonna be.
Yes, you're right.
Going along.
Yeah, he says it needs a lot of work. Yes, you're absolutely right, Sonic. I mean, that's the only thing you have to keep going at it. Tan was talking about this earlier. He started when he was younger. Tell them about it and tell them about the keep going and keep working point.
Yeah. So honestly, I started music back in 6th grade, but I did not touch any type of instruments. I've always just fell in love with the music and kept listening to it. And I grew up on, a lot of electronic music growing up.
Right.
And so not until really recently that I've been able to take advantage of, all these equipments that I can buy off the shelf,
right.
Honestly.
Right.
Watch a few YouTube tutorials, push a bunch of buttons, right? And figure out, what's going to be my voice and what's going to be my brand and how do the other artists do that. And, and I think that's just a really fun learning process.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you. Sonic says he'll be happy to share any knowledge he has and is never played any instruments, but I've used my ear. That's exactly right. So I have been playing guitar and singing and producing for a very long time. In fact, that's where I come from. But, I used to use older software before. There was a software a long time ago called N-Track Studio, which I don't know anybody's even heard of. Reason, I went to Cubase and then went to Pro Tools. All these things are available on YouTube to learn. Lots of people like you and me, we share our process and we just want people to learn and become better musicians. And I see you have sent me your link. I'll definitely take a look at that once we finish our stream. Thank you for sharing, Sonic. And
thank you, man.
Yeah, and we're gonna now continue with. I can see it. I just saw your link. Yeah. So we're gonna continue with what were we doing before? Oh yeah.
Oh,
we had to sample the girl. Yeah.
Did you want to continue this on our next session or video tutorial, or is your neighbors?
No. I mean. My neighbors are just fucking drunk and they're just we're
trying to trademark some stuff here, but they're like,
they're like trying to what's going on? Can we come over? I'm like, no, we're working.
Yeah.
So let's okay. He's Tan's right. I mean, so we're at 9:30. We're at our 1.5 hour. You're stuck in the 80s, Emmy. Well, that's fine. I love 80s music. Like I like.
I do too.
Depeche Mode.
Yes.
What is your favorite 80s?
Cyndi Lauper.
Yes.
Time after time. Yeah, like seriously.
I mean, beautiful fucking songs. I mean, yeah.
Time after time. Yeah, I mean,
beautiful songs. I mean, good music is forever. I mean, it doesn't mean that just because it's 80s or 50s or 1800s. I mean, people still listen to classical music.
Exactly, and that's the thing, right? I think that's our mission, to produce music that's gonna last and have a lasting impression, right? That's right. I mean, iPhones don't, go bad in like 5 years because they're well built and much as like songs.
Same thing like music,
right?
Yep. Oh, okay. That link you sent is sample at his 8. Okay, awesome, man. I'm actually excited to listen to that. I'll take a listen to that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is you saw a little bit of our process now because this was the first time Tan and I working, and I'm very very honored and glad that Tan you decided to show up.
Thank you very much.
And it's a pleasure having you here. We're gonna do many more such sessions, and for the next session we're gonna actually prepare a little bit more and have something that Tan has on his computer, some samples sampled and some things queued up, so we can actually give you guys actually a better what do you call that? Show
Experience.
Experience as well as a learning and teaching experience.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think this would definitely motivate me to really learn more about the product. And again, that's how you start, right? You have a passion and you just jump right into it and dive deep and really try to find that niche of yours.
Right. So Sonic Sound is asking, what genre does you DJ? What genre is your genre?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to actually share with you a live feed. I did a live feed last week. So I play a lot of like progressive trance.
Do you want to share with folks your Facebook or
absolutely.
Okay.
You can share. Can you pull up my Facebook real quick and share them that video that I did?
I'll actually share your Facebook thingy.
It might be set to private, but
okay.
But the video is public.
The video is public. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm just gonna open up Notepad and just write it down. I'm not sure exactly if this is the best way, but I'm just gonna. Oh fuck. Okay, so this is Tan's DJ Tan's. Facebook, if
codenamed DJ Springroll.
Right. DJ Springroll?
That's what my friends labeled me as.
There you go. So he's DJ Springroll, and hang on a second. Let me actually. He's looking into psytrance currently. New genre.
Nice.
I
love psytrance.
That's awesome, dude. Okay, so Tan, what's your Facebook thingy?
My Facebook handle is let's see here.
And I'm gonna make it
how
really
do I find out?
big. I think it's just look at your profile name and then. Actually, I'll find you here. I have you.
Actually,
on here.
can you open Facebook? And
Yeah.
there
I'll
you
open
go.
Facebook for sure.
No, but I primarily play a lot of progressive trance. Like so the major influences were Above and Beyond that we just sampled a little clip from. I definitely enjoy listening to Armin van Buuren, Dash Berlin, and all those old school guys, Paul Oakenfold. But I really connect with also the newcomers as well. Like this kid, Manila Killa, he's really into future house, and
that's you, right?
That is me right there. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to click
open that and then look at the
profile.
You can or maybe you can find the shared video of mine, and then that will link me post a video on there, and that can link to my account as well.
Yes.
Go to timeline.
Yeah.
And then scroll down. A bunch of random pictures.
There's gonna be a lot. Was it recent?
Right there.
This
That
one?
is
Okay,
it.
got
At
it.
one point, what? How many views were that? Okay.
Hang on a second.
There you go.
Send us a message.
Or we can copy the link.
Yeah.
Copy the link from the share feature function right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually post that in the chat for Twitch. Damn it! Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is Tan's video. You guys can check it out. Oh, nice. This is a song your brother sang. Okay, well, right on. I'm gonna check that out. Wow, right on. Where are you located, Sonic Sound? Are you in California? We're in California. And this is Tan's link. My Facebook is Elvis Titus. Elvis Titus is my name. You guys can find me on Facebook or SoundCloud. We'll share some more stuff with you guys as time goes by. So for now, I think this is the end of our session here. You know, he's in the UK.
Whoa!
Oh,
isn't
awesome.
it? Wait, isn't it like
It's
super late in London?
5:30 a.m. in the
Oh,
morning.
wow! Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well done, buddy.
well, thanks for tuning in, man. This
Well,
is
this is good. This shows that you have passion, you have, you know, drive and desire to learn, and you know, to get out there. That's kind of awesome, actually. We kudos to that.
yeah, totally. Thank you for dropping in. And
Thank you for dropping in, and thank you for showing
to
yeah.
two random strangers talking about music.
Well, that's the thing. YouTube is all everybody's random.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, good. So we're gonna, say bye to everybody, and thank you for listening to us. And just before we leave, we're just gonna play what we just made for a little bit, so you guys can hear it. For a bit, and then we will say adieu, and we'll meet you guys again next time. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching, and thanks for learning, and thanks for there you go. Thanks for loving music and being musicians. Man, I love musicians. We love musicians, right, Tan?
We do. Thank you.
Okay, so you have any last words to tell our folks?
Yeah. Again, just thank you for dropping in and listening to us. I think this is that's the beauty of the being part of the making of the process, right? Is seeing someone kind of grow from the ground up, and I think this is the beginning of something really, really, really freaking awesome. And I hope that you guys join us in this journey, and and learn along the way.
Yeah,
and
just imagine. I mean, say for example, we come to London, UK, and we perform, and then we have our guests like Sonic Sound, who's now 1 year later he's like a kick-ass producer, and then we do a collaborative effort, show, a concert somewhere there. That'd be fucking kick-ass, and you can come down to California and we can play some concerts together. Like, that's the point. Everybody likes music, and everybody wants to do music, and everybody wants to listen to music, so we just have to facilitate that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so here's the song, and I hope you guys, have a great evening or morning or whatever it is. Wow, not that. No blocks.
Here we go, here we go. Here we Here we go. Waited all week just to get.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody, and we're signing off and saying goodbye.
Cheers.
And hope to see you guys again.